Hi guys and welcome to another video. Today we'll be making a replacement for the Quarter because that is getting quite old and not selling too well. I have I think three options that we use. Either we do this, use the 96 for a coupe, or we use what I was thinking earlier. We could use this. I think that looks quite nice, and that it would fit our image if we have something like that. Or we could use this. We could always fold back on that, but I'm not so thrilled about doing that, since I've already made a choice doing that, although that was a very long time ago, almost a year now. But no. So I don't think we'll be using this, since we already did that with the Kajiki. So let's go ahead and use this body. So I think we're going for... Do we do aluminium? I think we go steel, and use a monocoque, steel chassis, and the front longitudinal engine placement. Let's also use Mac first strut front. Let's do double wishbone front and rear for added comfort and sportiness. We're actually gonna make a new engine because I have an idea. So the sort of story behind this is that Masato wanted... no, I keep thinking this is Masato. I did the wrong title a couple times too, but they took their normal 4-cylinder and doubled it up into V8. So if I'm correct, the bore should be 85 and the stroke should be 88. I think the 4-liter V8, which is quite small, but we can make it work, and we'll have to go with pushrod because of course that's what our straight 4 is. So let's use a forged steel crank, I think. Do cast iron for now. I think we go forged. So let's use cast pistons and no harmonic damper for now. We might make the angle a bit tighter in the front, or yeah, in the future, if I notice it will be a problem. But let's go a carb on this, and let's actually use mechanical fuel injection on another version, because we have unlocked that. So let's do a single barrel eco on this one. It won't be economical, but let's actually at least try make something economical that we can put in one of our more premium cars. Let's do a single exhaust for this one and baffled mufflers. And there we go, 62.8 prime horses. So let's go ahead and fix the car. I think we're going with longitudinal rear wheel drive. I am slightly tempted to go 4x4. But I don't think it will sell that well. Although we could try maybe make a concept or something and still test out in Beam and G. I think we will go with a 5-speed on a more sporty variant and a 4-speed on this. And I think we'll use radial tires. Let's do a medium compound on this. And I think we'll go solid disc front and rear. We will also have no under tray and a 2+2 design. Or do we do just a 2-seater? Maybe a 2+2? Do we go with a 2-seater? I think we'll go with 2-seater. And of course a sport interior. Let's go with a premium, no, standard AM radio on this one, and premium later. And of course manual rack and pinion. Advanced 60 safety, standard springs, gas monotube dampers. We should make something with the hydro-pneumatic springs. Let's maybe put that in an updated version of the 2000. That could be fun. Right now it is oversteering quite a lot, but you know, it should be doing that, I think. It would be a bit weird if it didn't do that, but let's morph it a bit after we change the color into something more fitting. Maybe go with the French Racing Blue, at least for now. We will change it later. And morph it a bit. So I'm going to try to talk a bit more, because I've noticed I usually get quite quiet when doing this part. Which I just noticed I just almost did. So let's not do that and morph it a bit, because you guys of course love hearing me talking. So let's do a bit of this maybe. It looks a bit squished, but then we could do a dual round headlights, which is quite modern I think here, and quite popular. Let's put that in a bit. I don't want to have that wide wheel arches, not like that at least. Maybe we could do a race version or something that would have this. That could look quite cool. Yeah, with this. I kinda need to do that now. But not right now, and maybe not even in this video. I think we're gonna keep it up and we get a bit more boot space. We do put it down a bit for improved aerodynamics, even though I don't think the game counts that. Let's not make it... that just looks stupid. So let's keep it the original width. Or width, however you say it. Can we do anything else? No, we won't lower the roof that much. Let's keep it pretty high. So longer people, or taller people like me can drive it. Do we put the front forward? What is this? Oh, do we put it down or not? That looks pretty bad. I don't think we'll put it down that much, but maybe a little. And I'm guessing this is if we want it front, or... I think we want it kinda flat. Or maybe even a bit inwards like that. I think this looks quite good. So I will go ahead and tune this and assign it, and I will see you guys shortly, or even shorter if you skip to the time on screen, and I'll see you guys then. So yeah guys, that was designing the V4000. And I didn't come up with any fun names for it. So this is the V4000 Vitesse, which I think is like speed or velocity, which this car is. And this is the kind of one of the sportier trims, and not very premium. So it has 160 horsepower, but it only weighs 993.1 kilograms. It has a 50-50 weight distribution. I really liked how the design came out. The interior was quite hard to make, but I think it turned out pretty good. The front probably looks exactly the same as the car this body is based on, but I couldn't find it, or what car the body is based on, so I wouldn't know. It just fit quite well to follow the lines here, and it's quite obvious that they wanted us or someone to have a grill here, since they made this a different paint slot, you know, so we could quite easily just go ahead and make this transparent, and then you wouldn't have to cut anything out. But I'm really happy with it. I think this bumper looks a bit weird but quite good. I think it works. We also added this little chrome strip here to kind of tie in the rear taillights, because there is definitely front taillights as well, into the lower trim piece at the windows. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this car into production, and later let's get it into BeamNG drive. So, getting the V4000 into production, I realized it may not be a great name, since the V is for the V8 that's in it, and the base model does not use a V8. But we will look over that, and I will name this engine something good. What will I name? Can't I rename it here? No, I guess not. But I will go and rename it after we got, or while we're getting it into production. So we wanna aim for about 48 months. I think it will be good. If we can't get it to 48, we could do with it should be 54. That will probably also be fine. It's just gonna put in a bit more work, put in the hours and get what hours. That's what they should say, right? Just get a bit faster funding, we can pay for it. Especially if we take out a loan. A bit faster, so less reliability, and there we go, almost 40 months. So we could actually do a bit more wasteful process, and a bit that's pretty good. We could do a bit more automated tooling. No, a bit more manual tooling, and we can do more learning. I think that may be good. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we can rename this one. That's probably good. So let's do. We can't have it do 52 months, because then the engine won't be done when the car is out, and that would be very badly. So a bit more wasteful process. Let's do aim for about 44 months, and then we got 4 months like that maybe. But we also want to learn a bit about V8s. 44 it was, like that. That's probably good. And I'm not sure if we make another factory? I think we might do. Yeah, we'll have to do that, sadly. But it's probably gonna be beneficial in the future. Look at me using complex words. So let's make it large actually. Large 2. Iron Foundry Forge works. Get these engines. Maps until 2.5 first shift. That's fine. We can do that. So large 2 probably. Maybe maintenance so the factory doesn't break down because we don't want that. Or it wears out less. Yes, worker wages, let's put them down a bit. Then let's put up worker quality a bit. Let's actually put down worker wages even more. Factory management, do we use this one? Yes, because it's gonna replace the Quattro. I'm not sure how this 6300 PR is overworked. It really shouldn't be. Let's actually put maintenance in this factory. And let's sign off. So let's use the forecasting tool. That is a lot of non-profitable years. But this is also a very cheap price. The Super Sport, let's put that one at maybe 12,000. Let's try that at least. Let's put this one at 16,000. This one at 11,000. And let's put this one at 9,000. That works a lot better, but not great. But it's just 39 million we need to get. So let's put the Super Sport at 13,000. This one at 12,000. And the economy at 10,000. Because it also looked like people really like the Quattro. So I think this will sell quite well. We lose 21 million in the first year, but that should be fine. We are making a totally or sort of new engine after all. So let's complete design and let's go into beamng.drive. So here we are in beamng drive. Don't ask why I keep saying the full name in this video, but let's get going. We'll do maybe half a lap on this track and then turn off. Now, please forget the metal scratching sound. It is quite annoying for me too, but that is the exhaust rubbing against the ground. So we can't really do anything about that now. Hopefully it will not be there in the other trims. So let's turn off here, and I think we turn right and follow all the traffic laws. Let's just destroy our gearbox. Test the brakes. Lock the brake. Do the brakes lock very easily? No, not that easily. Just me that can't do any braking. Well, at least. But let's keep going. I don't remember this car's 0 to 60 time, but we can do it in the next trim because I think we'll pull over here and change trims. So we just pull over at this gas station. Oh yeah, a bell. But let's not refuel completely, and let's change cars. So here we have the Vitesse, I think that's how we pronounce it anyways. But let's get going, and maybe we can do a bit of a burnout. A little bit, but I also left left on the gas a bit, because there was a bit of a ditch there. A bit more than a ditch actually. So let's turn left here. I have tried recording this bit multiple times because I just get lost and end up driving somewhere where I can't drive really. So let's turn left here and not crash. I think this drives pretty well, although it has some of the same problems with handling as the straight 6 version. Now there's a lot of scratching noises from the from the exhaust. So let's try to ignore that by me revving the engine a bit more, if that will work. But let's actually turn right way this time. It is quite fast, this version. Maybe it should have been this one we took on the track. But what's coming up? This corner. Let's try not to crash and not to oversteer too much. We failed at both, or I did. But let's turn the right way and get going for real. So let's turn right here, I think, onto the narrow road. A bit more rally maybe. Let's cut the corners a little bit. Third gear. Ooh. It is a bit hard to drive. I think it would definitely benefit from stiff front sway bars. They are way too soft. Or maybe it is the rear one that are too hard. It's almost like it's set up as a front-wheel drive car. Feels like the rear wheel is lifting a bit, so that's not optimal. Not this either. That's very not optimal. But how durable is it? Can we keep going? Yes, we can. Although it doesn't look too good. Let's just keep going a little bit more before we change into the premium version or luxury version. Maybe even a Grand Tourer. So let's just right here. Let's stop and change into that version. So here we have the more premium version, which I definitely remember the name of. But let's get going to the right on this more bit wider road. Oh yeah, it's an automatic. I forgot. So let's disengage the handbrake, because that didn't happen automatically for some reason. It usually does. Now we still have the scraping from the other cars. But let's keep trying to look over that. Let's try. And I think we'll just mostly stick to this road for a bit until we get onto the track. Let's try put our foot down. It is quite fast. I think either it was this one or the one we're gonna look at next. It had the 7.5 second 0 to 60, which I think is quite fast for this time period. But let's drive a bit, take out this curve, widen nicely. Ooh. Not a great entry into the next corner, and not a great exit, or just a pretty bad corner as a whole. Now do we turn? No, we don't turn right here. But we keep going here. And before we get on the track properly, So here we have the more sporty version, the Super Sport. But let's get going onto the racetrack. And hopefully we won't crash in the first corner. I feel like if we get maybe 5 corners without crashing, that's a W. It definitely still has the issues of the other cars, but I guess the people in automation like it anyways, and that's mostly what matters. But it would be nice if it handled well as well. But it's still fine. Maybe we have to brake a bit for this corner. I don't think we need to brake a lot. Apparently we did. A bit of understeer. But did we make it 5 corners, or was it 4? Something like that. But let's drive the short layout, because the long layout will be too far for this video, because it's getting quite long. Ooh, oversteer. I am not used to driving the short layout. I either drive the long layout or the medium layout. Almost never this. Ooh. I'm probably this slow because I am shit at driving. That wasn't a hairpin. Oh wait, we're here now. Yeah, that is a very short lap. Let's not crash in the last corner. And it looks like we crashed in the last corner. Great, but at least we got this pretty nice camera angle. But yeah guys, I think that's where we are going to have to end the video. I really enjoyed making this one, and I hope you did too. And I hope I'll see you next time. But until then, bye!